Hi everybody, John Randall here. Today I want to take you through a great country tune. It's actually one that was requested by somebody on YouTube. I'd not heard it before, so I had to actually go away and find it and figure it out. It's called Hard Man to Love, a very traditional sounding country tune with a very nice little middle eight in there that's a bit different. The structure of the song is a verse, a chorus, a verse, a chorus, a middle, a chorus, and an ending. So nice and easy to remember. What makes it a little bit tricky is that each of the verses and the choruses are just a little bit different from each other. The whole song's in the key of A major, so that means it has three sharps. It has a C sharp, it has an F sharp, and it has a G sharp. So the A major scale, starting on the 5th fret, sounds like this. The 5th fret of the E string. Alright, so you can pretty much play the whole song in that one position that I was using, but I tend to like to move it around a little bit rather than playing the F sharp down here on the 4th fret of the D string. I often come and play it up here on the A string at the 9th fret. Anyways, let's get into it and you'll see how this goes. Of course, as usual, at the end of the song, or at the end of the lesson part of this, I'll play through the whole thing. You can play along and hopefully we can have some fun with it. So, starting off with the first verse, it starts with the guitar and some singing, and about halfway through the first verse, halfway through the singing, that's where the bass comes in. So it comes in on an A, so 5th fret on the E string, and the timing of most of these notes in this song is just on the 1 and the 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do the first part. We've got first verse A, followed by E. Okay, and I'm playing the E here on the A string on the 7th fret. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 2 more A's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the 5th fret on the E string. Then the 3rd bar, 2 D's. So the D's are straight below the A on the D string. Sorry, on the A string. What am I saying? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to ascend up to E, which is on the 7th fret of that same string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and we're going to keep going. Now you can play the F sharp here on the 4th fret of the D string, or you can come up here onto the 9th fret, which is what I like to do, the 9th fret of the A string. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then back down to the E, which is the 7th fret of the A string. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next bar is going to be a couple of D's, which is the 5th fret. But instead of just going straight from 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to throw a little lead-in note, which if you were to count it out would be on the da of 4. So 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and da. And it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Did you get that? 1, 2, 3, 4. These lead-in notes are used quite a bit through the song, so that's the first one that, at least the first one that I heard. So we did a couple of D's, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now back to E, and we're going to play the root and the 5th. So we're going to play the root note of E, and then we're going to play the 5th by playing the B, which is directly above it on the 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally, a couple more E's. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll notice I played an E here on the 7th fret on the 1, 1, 2, and then the 3, 4 was on the open E string. Now to make it sound a little bit nicer, what you can do is throw another one of those little lead-in notes, just another little lead-in E. So we could go 1, 2, you got that? 1, 2, da, 3, 4. This time the da is on the da of 2, so 1E and a 2E and da, 3, 4. And that's the verse. So what I'll do now is I'll put up a little short of an actual play along, and you can see how it sounds, and we'll come back to the first chorus.
A phone call in the middle of the night that never came. She's been walking on pins and needles, waiting for the phone to ring to put her mind at ease. The sun's coming up and I'm coming in with another I'm sorry won't happen again. I can't understand why she never ran when anybody in their right mind would. Yeah, I'm a heart.
Okay, so let's talk about the chorus now. The first chorus, each of the choruses is a little bit different, but they have the same kind of flavour. The first chorus starts off a little bit like the first verse. So we've got a root A on the 5th fret, and then we can come down and play the E, or come up and play the E. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one of my favourite parts in this song is this next little run that's used a bit. So there's going to be another A, 1, 2, and then on 3, 4, we're going to reach out with our little finger here and play the octave A, which is on the 7th fret of the D string, and we're going to play 3, 4. So those notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a G sharp, by the way, on the 6th fret, and we're going to keep descending into the first beat of the next bar, which is the 4th fret of the D string, which is an F sharp. So it kind of sounds cool, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now to make it sound even cooler, you can throw another little lead-in note. So just before we play that octave A, you could go 1, 2, or actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay. 1, 2. So I just doubled up that A just before I played the octave. Once we get down to this F sharp here, we can play 1, 2. All right. So again, on this F sharp, I played the F sharp down here, and then I went directly above it to the C sharp, which both notes in the key of A major. It was the root note was the F sharp, and then the 5th was the C sharp directly above it on the A string on the 4th fret. So let's do that together. Let's play all of that so far, those 3 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now back to 1, 2. All right, so that was back to that F sharp there. And then we're going to do 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's play it all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, that's sort of the first half of the whole chorus. So you'll notice I threw a few extra notes in there. Let me read them out one by one, and we'll play through them, and then we'll do the second half of that chorus. That's one of the more complicated parts of this whole song. So A, E, A, high A, G sharp, F sharp, okay, C sharp, F sharp, F sharp, E, D, okay, and then we're coming up here, A, D, D, and then E, B, and you can throw another one of those little lead-in notes here if you want, B, E, and open E. So that's the first half of the first chorus. A little bit complicated, and I know I'm kind of rushing through it, but there's quite a lot in this song, so I want to try and make this video a reasonable length. All right, the next half of the chorus is pretty similar. So let's go through the second half of the chorus. It's going to be A, E, A, high A. That part familiar? Okay. Okay, D, finish off on the E, and that bar just rings. Now, one of the things you can do when you're playing the second half of the chorus, again, there's an opportunity for one of those little lead-in notes, and it's actually when we're here on the F sharp. So let me show you the second half of that chorus again, and I'll throw that leading note in. the second half of the chorus. Now there is a kind of another 4 bars that tag along on the end of that, so let me show you those, and then I'll show you the whole play along. So we go back to A, E, back to A, and you can do a little lead-in note here before you play the A again. And this time I'm going to use the open E. Okay, so those notes there, those 4 bars, A, E, A, open E as the tag note, and then back to the A, then reaching out here on the 4th fret on the A string with the C sharp. It's kind of leads you into the next note. That's on the 4, and then up to the D, and then reach with your little finger up to the 7th fret, and 2 more Ds. Okay, so let's have a look at the play along, and hopefully you can follow along, and we'll see you after that for verse 2.
Yeah, I'm a hard man to love, but thank God she does. Keep holding on, being strong when I'm sorry just ain't enough. Soft as silk she stands by her barbed wire man. She's never given up. I'm a hard man to love. There's a dog.
Okay, verse 2. Verse 2 is a little bit like verse 1 in the sense the bass doesn't play very much through the first half of it. In fact, for the first half of it, all we're going to do is, starting on the first beat, is going to be an A, and we're just going to hold it for 2 bars. So it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, followed by a D directly underneath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Back to the A, this time just for 1 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by the D, 1, 2, 3, 4, and followed by an E. You can reach out and grab it with your little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so pretty simple, and when we do the play along, you'll be able to follow it, no problems, I'm sure. Now the actual kind of meaty part, the second half of the second verse, is a bit like the second half of the first verse. Let's run through it. So starting again on A. So it's the second verse, second half of the second verse. It's going to be A, 2, 3, 4. That's the E. Back to the A. 1, 2. And we're actually going to play a second A, but if you want, you can throw another one of these little lead-in notes. I actually kind of like throwing in the 7th fret here, the E, as a lead-in note. So it's going to be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then we're going to drop down here to the D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and there's a little bit of a slide up here if you want, or you could play the note we're hitting here as an F sharp on the 9th fret. Or you could play the F sharp down here as the 4th fret on the D string. I like to play it up here. So that 3rd bar of this sequence is D. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go down to the E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And back down to the D. Alright, so there's a little bit in all of that. Let me play through it sort of consistently so you can watch what's going on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, E, open, E, E open, G sharp, A, that's the end of the verse. It kind of leads us into what will be the chorus. So a few extra notes there, and again, if you follow along with the tab, you should be able to get it. You'll notice that there's a part there I dropped down and I played a G sharp down here on the E string. There was actually an open E followed by a G sharp. This is the last bar of the verse, and that led me into what's going to be the first note of the second chorus. So watch the play along, see how you go.
There's a doghouse rose that God knows I didn't send soon enough, sitting in the middle of a crippled kitchen table, barely standing up from where I kicked it once. It ain't pretty enough to make up for me messing up the only love a man could ever need. She shines forgiveness from her patient eyes. I don't see what they see in me. Yeah, I'm a hard man.
Okay, welcome back. Now we're going to take a look at the second chorus. It's very similar to the first chorus. So it starts off again on the 5th fret on the E string with an A note. Okay, followed by an E, which we're playing on the 7th fret of the A string. Very confusing. Usual timing. And then this riff that we played in the first chorus. E, B, E, lead in note, and an E leading into an open E. And that's the first half of the second chorus. So very similar. If you got the first chorus right, then you probably saw all the notes that were going on in that. Let me play it again. Okay. And the second half of the chorus, again, it's going to be pretty familiar. So A, E, A, guess what? That again. Such a cool riff. And this time we're going to go up to the higher A. And we can throw a nice little lead-in note. Okay, finishing off on the E here on the 7th fret. I'm using my little finger. Let me kind of talk through those notes. So A, E, A, G sharp, F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, F sharp, E, D, high A, D, open A lead-in note, back to the D, and then 2 E's. Alright, so check out the play along and see how you go.
Yeah, I'm a hard man to love, but thank God she does. Keep holding on, being strong, and I'm sorry, just ain't enough. Soft as silk, she stands by her barbed wire man. She's never given up. I'm a hard man to love, but I find...
Okay, we're in the home stretch now. We're going to play the middle, which is one of my favorite parts of this song. So it comes out of that second chorus and straight into the middle section of the song. We're going to come right up here onto the A string at the 9th fret, and we're going to play on each beat. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can give a little bit of bite, a little bit of aggression into that, and then drop down to the D, which is the 5th fret on that A string, and play 4 notes. And the next note is going to be an A, which is directly above it. But if you want, you can throw in one of those little lead-in notes into it. So another D in there. So something like this. 1. You heard that that little skip just before I played that A. It's optional. Sounds good in my opinion, and it's up to you whether you really want to use it. You can leave it out. So we're into the A, and play the A. And again, if you want to throw a little lead-in note, it can sound good. Maybe an open E here, back to the A. Then we're going to play a C sharp, and back up to our E. So all in all, the first half of this this middle section is going to sound like this. Ooh, a little bit sloppy there, but hey. The second half of this this middle section is very similar, not quite the same. So another 4 F sharps, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then 4 Ds, and you can throw that little lead-in note before you play the A. And we're just going to play 2 A's. That was 1, and then another one. Then back to the E, and the B, which is directly above it, using my little finger in this case, and then a couple more E's. So the second half of this middle section is going to go okay, so check out the play along and see how you go.
But I found someone perfect enough to love a man like me in spite the tears she's cried and the time she's tried so hard to love this hard man.
Alrighty, welcome back. Let's take a look at the final chorus of this song. Again, it's similar to the others, not exactly the same. So it starts off this time with 2 A's. What we've been doing pretty much with each part up until now is we've been playing an A and then an E. This time it's just 2 A's by itself. So just, and in fact the timing is a little bit different as well. So instead of being on the 1, we're coming out of this middle section, which is, you know, pretty high energy, and then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so these are on the offbeats. Really, really effective, and you'll hear it in the play along. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then we're going to do our usual. I'm not going to go through all of that because we just played it in the second chorus. That's the first half of the third chorus, what I just played there. The thing to note is just the first couple of bars a little bit different. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. All right, and then we kind of play that theme. Similar theme that we've used in the first and second chorus again. So A, E, okay, very familiar. Okay, up to the high A this time. A couple more Ds, a couple of E's, back to the A. E, A, and this leads us into the ending of the song. All right, so the second half of this this third chorus is similar to what you've heard before. It's got a slightly different last couple of bars, a little bit different. So let's just kind of play it. 1, 2. Okay, and that's it.
It's hard, man, to love, but thank God she does. Keep holding on, being strong when I'm sorry, just ain't enough.
Okay, welcome back. The ending for this song is pretty simple. Starts with a D, followed by an A, followed by a couple of Ds, and then a note in between coming up to the F sharp, to the E, and then we just hold that. So it's like 3 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's quite a long hold at the end there. You just wait for it. Then you hear a little click on the snare drum, which is your cue to come back in with the final part of the ending. Back to the A, to E, 2 more A's, back to D, A, 2 E's, and then this is actually the second last bar. We're playing these 2 E's, and the song actually starts to slow down, so you've kind of got to listen for where that second E goes, and then it finishes off at the very end of the song on an A, and the timing's pretty loose at the end there. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this, hope it's useful. I'm going to do a play along now. You can kind of see how the whole thing goes together. And of course, come and see me at www.johnrandall.com or www.johnrandall.com.au if you're interested in a lesson, and we'll see you next time.
A phone call in the middle of the night that never came. She's been walking on pins and needles, waiting for the phone to ring to put her mind at ease. The sun's coming up and I'm coming in with another I'm sorry won't happen again. I can't understand why she never ran when anybody in their right mind would. Yeah, I'm a hard man to love, but thank God she does keep holding on, being strong when I'm sorry just ain't enough. Soft as silk she stands by her barbed wire man. She's never given up. I'm a hard man to love. There's a doghouse rose that God knows I didn't send soon enough, sitting in the middle of a crippled kitchen table, barely standing up from where I kicked it once. It ain't pretty enough to make up for me messing up the only love I may could ever need. She shines forgiveness from her patient eyes. I don't see what they see in me. Yeah, I'm a hard man to love, but thank God she does keep holding on, being strong when I'm sorry just ain't enough. Soft as silk she stands by her barbed wire man. She's never given up. I'm a hard man to love, but I found someone tough enough to love a man like me in spite the tears she's cried and the time she